I don't think any of us had ever cried as hard as we did when we saw you lying there. It was a pain no one's ever expected to feel. We lost our innocence this summer. I miss you so much. I can't believe I'll never see you again. I wish I had said something more the last time I had seen you. Was there a place inside of me that knew it would be the last time I would ever see you again?
I get this text message from Tom's girlfriend saying, "Oh, Riley's dead." I'm like, that's stupid. Why would you even say that? Why would you? That's the... No, no, there's no way.
The police showed up about 2 hours or so after I'd found out, and they were slightly unhappy that somebody else had told me, because, you know, they wanted to be the ones who told me because they knew how to do it whatever the proper way, the way that I wouldn't freak out about it. And as soon as that happened, I wanted to go stay at my friend Brittany's house because that was the house where everybody hung out. You know, everybody was always there. You know, there was video games downstairs and there was parties upstairs, and that's where everybody hung out, and he was there a lot. So all of my memories of Riley were mostly at that house, and I wanted to be there because I felt that that would have helped a lot because, you know, we both knew him so well, and we both knew what the other person, like, exactly was going through. And, you know, it just would have been good to be with her.
Yeah, we had all had like, oh, let's remember Riley at his place. And we had all just basically got together and started talking about fun times, and like, it was kind of hard seeing a lot of his family. I think still to this day they have a lot of issues with talking about him. And so it was kind of, they were kind of gloomy moods, but we all tried to keep happy. We kind of just had fun, and like, Corian's mom had Riley's mother had ripped all the floors apart because she wanted hardwood floor, and it was still like that. And so she's like, let's write on the floor, and we started writing all what we thought, and like on the stairs and stuff. And I kind of just random, like, you know, little doodads, like, oh, this is Riley's room, pointing this way. And so I don't remember exactly what I wrote, but I just remembered writing, oh, I just love you and I miss you, and like, I'm really sorry I couldn't help or be a part of that, but it was nice. Like, you're definitely one of the greatest moments of my life.
Even in talking to the coroner initially when she was there, she was really concerned about all of Riley's friends and the impact that it was going to have on them. And she had set up, so he died on a Tuesday, July the 17th, and his service was going to be on Saturday, and she wanted to be able to have a session with all of his, or as many as we could get there. So some of his friends put it out on Facebook, and on the Friday we had an afternoon meeting at one of his friends, so the mom hosted it. And in actual fact, Francis Kelsey, where he went, they supplied some school counselors, and he'd also gone to Lakeside. They provided some counselors and some food, and parents and everybody were invited. I don't know how many people were there, but there was a lot of people there. There was probably over 100 people, some teachers and things like that. So the counselor talked about stuff, just talked about that it wasn't anybody's fault, right? That no one was responsible for this. This was an event for Riley, and that we couldn't really know what was in his mind and what really led him to those things. And she provided them with some really good information. And then after that, I don't know whether it was spontaneous or whether she asked them to share, but the kids shared a lot of stuff about Riley and things that he'd done and memories that they'd had of him, and it was quite incredible. And his teachers actually shared as well.
That was really, you know, just a room full of people just bawling and like sharing all these beautiful stories. So that was really helpful and really healing. And then just being able to talk about it, you know, like they weren't skirting around the issue. Like, they told us how he died. They told us that he had attempted before. Like, it was, you know, there wasn't any sugarcoating. It was just raw, and we were all like learning the facts, and and then everyone was just sharing memories. So after learning all that, there was a lot of laughter and fond, you know, it wasn't just all sad. And I think just everyone being there and everyone being so raw together was just like a really powerful experience.
And so after that, Corrine invited us to go see his body, and that was scary. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I was like prepared for the worst, and it was kind of nice because it gives you a lot of closure to like see his body and be like, hey, how are you? And so there's a few people of his close friends there, and I had owed Riley $20 because I had bought a guitar from him, and so I gave him the $20. And soon following, lots of people put notes of just like, they put a lot of money in there. I guess they owed him it for like doing a lot of stupid stuff that he did, because he'd do anything for a quarter. And so they gave him, like, I think some guy gave him a pack of smokes. He went to put like one smoke in there. He's like, oh, fuck it, and gave him the whole pack. It was this funny little thing that like they just had on them, right? It really had no particular meaning, but they just had on them. And it's like, this is what I can offer you. And it was really nice, and like a few people gave him a kiss on the head and stuff. And it was kind of like, I mean, it didn't really look like Riley. They had hella makeup in him. He had a lot of makeup. We kind of laughed because we knew Riley would be like, not makeup. But it was kind of like a really good turning point, I'd say, for like closure and stuff, and feeling a lot better, because even though like it was his body, it was really nice to see him once more.
I didn't really think about anything. I mean, I thought a lot about him and you know why he did it, and you know his reasons for doing it, and you know why couldn't he tell somebody? Why couldn't he, like, why didn't he call me? Why didn't he call me and say that he was going to do it? And you know, and then I thought about, well, what could I have done? What could I have done really? And I think I could have changed it, but who knows? Yeah, I kind of, I didn't think, you know, that it was my fault. I didn't really, I didn't, I never really felt that it was my fault. Kind of just wanted to stay in my room. My room's kind of dark because it's in the basement, and I just wanted to stay in my room. I didn't really want to go out anywhere. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to meet new people. I didn't want to talk to people about it. I just wanted to be left alone, and that was very hard to do because I was constantly being attacked by my mother, and she wouldn't leave me alone, and she always wanted to make sure that I was okay. That was my self-help period. That was, you know, I kind of had to think about things and, you know, realize some things, and, you know, realize that I wasn't going crazy.
Like, you were asking about the points of depression and like just being sad, and when you're sad you can feel, but when you're depressed you really have no thought of, I don't know, of just like anything. Like, you kind of just wander around in a lifeless body, and that's kind of what I did for a little bit. I was just like at my place going, like doing my culinary arts, just cutting but not giving a crap. I'm just like,
I've always had like a really good meter of myself, and like I can tell when I'm letting myself slip into depression and when I'm just being sad. I definitely, like, I couldn't read for a while. Like, I couldn't slip into other worlds. Like, I felt like going away from my grief would, like, I couldn't do it, but it also kind of felt like it would almost be like a betrayal. Like, I need to like go into some other world, and I just needed to be in that world for a while. And you know, there's things like with my pants, like what happened was I wanted to go down to the beach, but I couldn't just go down to the beach. Like, I needed to be doing something for Riley or about Riley, so I like took these pants down there and just sewed and sat at the beach and sewed for a while.
It's, you know, it's like you're really just kind of like a black cloud. You don't want to do anything. You just want to be stuck in a dark room. You know, sleep all day. You don't eat. You know, it's really heavy, and it's very makes you feel really muggy. But you know, grief is kind of like, oh, okay, well, you know, this has happened, and I'm sad about it. And you know, it really sucks, but I'm sad about it. You know, and you know, it's not, you know, world ending. So, you know, I guess I'm just kind of hoping that he's in a better place and that he's happy. And, you know, I tried not to dwell on the fact that I was unhappy. I tried to, you know, think about the fact that he was happy and that, you know, he was hopefully in a better place. And that, you know, even though he had to hurt, you know, a lot of people to get there, that's what he felt like he had to do because, you know, we all got better. We all got happy again. Well, we were all talking about it, so it was a good question. You know, it was a question that needed to be asked. You know, and when counselors or parents or, you know, whoever asked me that question, because it was definitely a question that was thrown around a lot. It was, you know, the question never made me angry. It, you know, never made me, you know, upset that it was being asked or, you know, like, oh, why would you? It always was a question that made sense because it was a question that needed to be asked. And it's a good question.
And so I just, like, later on in that year, I kind of thought maybe I should go to see someone. And so I started going to see someone on the lake here. I forget her name. She was like a different professional. You could tell she was your friend. She wasn't just there to get paid and help you. And so by going with her, it was a big help. And, like, I don't know, she just, like, she had a good thing about her. Like, most I hear of therapists are like, how do you feel about that? And it was nothing like that. Like, I know Riley went and saw one at one point. And he said it was exactly like that, like a total movie stereotype therapist. And we're like, oh god, that's why I was totally against it at first. But sometimes you get those people who are just perfect and for that job, and she was, and she, like, became my friend. And I should phone her up later today because I haven't talked to her in a long time. But yeah, she definitely was, like, the biggest help for sure. Like, some random stranger, that's, like, the best comfort is when you don't know them because you find it easier to talk to them.
I went for counseling, not because I felt like I was forced, but because I felt like I wanted to. Because, you know, I wanted to talk to somebody about it and make sure that I wasn't going crazy. Well, my mom has a friend who used to work for the crisis line, and she has another friend who is a youth counselor. So they both, you know, talked to me about it, and they were both, you know, they didn't pry, but they just, you know, they questioned, and, you know, I talked because I knew them, and I'd known them for a while, and that was good because I knew them and I felt very comfortable with them.
I didn't realize how much it affected a lot of people. Like, my friend Brandon, he's kind of at some point, he was going through a depression, and I was so shocked to find out that he was in therapy talking about Riley. He met Riley maybe once or twice, and for like 2 weeks he was talking about Riley. And I was so shocked when he told me. I was like, what? Like, it affected him, and he didn't even know the guy.
It's definitely made me a lot more aware about people and, you know, taking suicide threats a lot more seriously, and been a lot more sensitive to people who are grieving like that, like inside, and people who have problems like that on the inside. Like, it's definitely, yeah, it's made me a lot more aware of people and, you know, their pain.
For, like, anyone, like police, etc., it's just being there as a friend, and, like, just kind of, like, just yeah, just being there. Really, it's just like, it's just a matter of talking. Like, even go out to lunch and, like, just laugh about things. Like, not just be like, listen to what you had to say about Riley, and, like, if it was funny, there's, like, interesting. Being a friend, like, just, like, being open, like, even give examples of your life, of what, oh, this is what I've done, and, like, just say, because sometimes therapists are usually just there to listen. You don't talk, and I think talking is a really big thing. If you take them out to, like, coffee, and that's when I find that I open up more. I don't know why, it's just, like, the classic thing, you know, please, coffee and a chat. And so, like, doing that, and, like, even, like, sharing life, like not even about Riley. Like I found when I was with the lady, I was showing her my music. I wasn't even talking about Riley a lot of the time.
Try not to pry. People will tell you as much as they're willing to tell you, and as much as they want to tell you. I think that the worst thing that you can do, for somebody who's dealing with grief is, make them open doors that they're not ready to open yet, because, there's things with grief and with depression and suicide and all those kind of things that, it's like a road, and if, you open doors that, some people never open, if you open doors that people aren't ready to be opened, it kind of screws up the whole, like, self process of, grief.
One of the things to keep in touch with Riley's friends too is I know that Riley's friends were concerned about me as well, which I thought was quite interesting. Not having experienced that before was their concern for me. I think, I don't know, I think if you can stay connected with those people and just be open with them and let them know how much it hurts you, they'll share with you how much it hurts them. Or
After, it was about 9 months after he died, my family and Corrine and Tim all went to Disneyland together, and it was just, it was kind of like a trip in memory of Riley. So we all got shirts with like his picture and his name on them, and we wore them all on our first day, and it was just kind of like, Disneyland's always happy, but it was one of those things that was like, we were taking Riley with us, and it was like happy but also tinted with sadness. He couldn't physically be there. And the first ride we went on was Indiana Jones, and afterwards Corrine was just like, she was pretty sad because she was just like, Riley would have loved that ride. So like, I don't know, it was just so important for us to do that, and it was so beautiful. And it was just kind of like, there's a lightness here. Like, I don't feel like it's always going to be sad, but I felt like there was like a big heavy blanket on me, and that's kind of gone. Like, I feel light. And it was just allowing that, because I think some people, when they start to feel better, almost feel like it's like a betrayal, like they don't really care anymore, right? Like they're moving on and whatever. I don't think about that guy. But it was just, I felt like wherever he was at peace with it too, and he wouldn't have wanted me carrying it around like a big heavy blanket all the time.
the only other thing that I would say is that I could not have made it through this without without my family, first of all, but without Riley's friends, because they really gave me an opportunity to reach out to them, and they all reached back. You know what they did, and they think that I helped them, but they helped me. There is just there's no putting that in any other context, right? They saved my life too.